So if you didn't see it, this past Wednesday, the Copa America went into absolute full-fledged anarchy. And this is because, following Colombia's 1-0 victory over Uruguay, Darwin Nunez scaled the stadium walls and decided to run a fade with Colombian fans. Now, the reason behind this is being widely disputed online, but essentially, it's being reported that the Colombian fans were pressing into the section aggressively that contained the families of the Uruguayan players. Hence, the reason for Darwin Nunez scaling the stadium walls and fighting the Colombian fans was to protect his own family and the families of his teammates. And now, a lot of people have differing opinions on Darwin's actions, but me personally, I absolutely love this. And when I say that, I don't mean that I love that a player feels it's necessary for him to go into the stands and fight the opposing team's fans. But look, at the end of the day, Darwin Nunez has a family, and one of his children that were at the game, it was a literal baby. You could see pictures of him holding the baby after the game. And when you take this into consideration, Nunez was not in the stands when the altercation first happened. I'm sure he did not know who was at right, who was at wrong, and if we're all being entirely honest with ourselves, there's probably people who were in the wrong on both sides. But as a diehard Liverpool fan, I'm not going to act as though I don't absolutely love this sort of energy from Nunez. And I'm not going to act as though situations like this aren't actually good for the sport either. Look, for years, I have felt as though football has gotten a bad rep because of players diving around and acting like little babies whenever the softest challenge comes in on them. And now look, I am full aware that this is an incident that happened off the pitch with the fans. I don't even believe that any of the Colombian players were involved at all. But look, I'm not going to act as though I don't approve of the behavior of Darwin Nunez, especially if his intent was to defend his family and the families of his teammates. As far as I am concerned, he is completely justified. And also, this is a completely terrible look for the security and police enforcement at that stadium in Arizona. Look, I would absolutely say that this sort of situation is something that security and law enforcement are supposed to be involved in before it gets to any of the players, but if you watch the footage of the incident, it is clear that it is gone past the point of them even doing anything, and that's where I feel as though Nunez and the other, Uruguayan players that were involved had to step in. And as an American, I'm embarrassed of the fact that security and law enforcement weren't on top of this. We are one of the 3 nations that is supposed to be hosting a World Cup in the upcoming years, and we are having situations in the Copa America to where rival teams are fighting each other in the stands to this magnitude, to where players' families are apparently at risk of being in danger. That is ridiculous, and that should have been handled way before it got to the point that it did. And now look, circling back to Darwin, I for one, as a Liverpool fan, have been both critical and complimentary of him as a player. While he does miss some big chances, I also think that the chances that he puts away, which are important for his team, often get overshadowed just because he has some big opportunities that he misses. But I'm not going to lie, this guy has that dog in him. Like, this is a situation that obviously is not ideal. You never want to see families of the players get mixed up into something like this. But the fact that this dude was willing to just scale the stadium, join in with the Uruguayan fans, and run a fade with the Colombian fans, that is, I'm just going to be honest, that's awesome. That's the sort of energy I want Darwin to bring to Old Trafford next season. That's a joke, by the way. I'm not suggesting Nunez fight any United fans. But when I look at Darwin, I'll be the first one to say I do think that this guy is kind of crazy. I mean that in a good way. I think some of the best players of all time have been crazy. I mean, look, fellow Uruguayan Luis Suarez was a crazy person, but he was successful at Liverpool and he was successful at Barcelona. He had one of the best careers of a generation. And now I'm seeing reports that Nunez may face a ban for this incident. I selfishly am hoping that does not affect his Liverpool career. I want to see Nunez out there at the beginning of the season for Liverpool. However, I can't lie to you, I love this energy from Nunez. Maybe it's wrong for me to feel that way. However, I'm going to be entirely honest, I like the fact that he has that dog in him. And honestly, I'm not going to apologize for it. But most importantly, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comments, was this a really, really bad look for Nunez, or was this something that you feel the same way I do? Finally, don't forget to click that like button, click subscribe, click that notification bell so you know every time I make a new video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.